Alejandra Duran, and I work for Sacramento City College under the SESI project, which stands for STEM Equity Success Initiative, and I'm currently serving as a role of a student support specialist.
Hello everyone, my name is Karina Corona, and I'm part of the SESI STEM Equity Success and Initiative team. I am one of two student support specialists. We focus on helping students that are interested in STEM. And as many of our students, I am first generation graduate. I did start working for this program about 3 years ago, and I did start working for the program as a peer mentor. So I was one of the first group of peer mentors that were hired. I look forward to sharing some information with you all. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mariel Glenn, and I am the SESI counselor. Some of my responsibilities include case management, supporting our students through the transfer process, making sure I'm meeting one-on-one with our students to ensure they have an academic plan, career development, personal counseling, and crisis counseling.
Hi, my name is Carla Rojas, and I'm a mathematics professor at Sacramento City College. Additionally, I also co-chair the SESI Professional Learning Community.
We are a STEM-based program, STEM grant program, which focuses on increasing the number of Hispanic, Latinx, economically disadvantaged students who enter and complete their educational opportunity in STEM fields of study. Our program assists students with their transition from high school to college or career program completion and transfer. A little bit about our team. We do have a full-time director, a full-time counselor, 2 outreach specialists, 2 student support specialists, and our grant clerk. We also have a team of 10 to 13 peer mentors that help support our students. Some of our program objectives for our students is to increase the sense of belonging, improve academic engagement, and increase student persistence and graduation rates for our minority students, in addition to improving academic outcomes. So one of the components to increase a sense of belonging within our students is the matriculation and onboarding, which happens at the beginning of their senior year. Our outreach team goes out and recruits and assists our first-gen low-income students from our local high schools. The students do have to have an interest in STEM. If they haven't decided yet, our program is a great opportunity for them to explore. We also provide assistance with the matriculation process. So throughout the semester, our outreach team helps with enrolling them into completing their application for Sacramento City College. They assist them with navigating the different websites that we have for them, in addition to helping with financial aid, which is a huge barrier for our students. In addition to that, our outreach team also connects our students to our counseling services, which is the next step to enrolling into their classes. We are a learning-based community for our students. So what that means is that we provide a sense of familial experience within their classmates. A lot of these students are coming from the same backgrounds, have similar experiences, and are aiming to complete a degree in STEM, which allows them to kind of bond with each other. These students are with each other the whole year, taking English classes, math classes, and any of their general ed classes. Some of the ways that we improve the academic engagement is with our summer transition program. We call it our SESI Summer Symposium, which in previous years it had consisted of 5 years, but this year we had to move into an online base. So we did 3 days of our summer symposium, which was very beneficial for our students, especially with the feelings of coming in a new environment, especially in an online base. We tried to provide as many resources as we could those 3 days, in addition with connecting with all our staff, all our faculty that are teaching these courses to make sure that our students are well prepared. We also include a time management workshop. We introduced the 4 agreements, which is some of the material that our program shares with our students. Another way of improving academic engagement is by our lending library and technology. We offer general ed books for our students. They are also able to connect with their library at Sacramento City College, and they are able to rent out supplies. Some of the technologies that students are able to rent out from us are computers, calculators, and any other supplies that they may need for their classes. We also offer early college STEM experiences. What that means is that in our program, we offer unique experiences for our students to explore the different careers in STEM. So one of the things that we do is that we invite professionals out from the community to speak on their career choice and why they chose the career path that they took. We've found that students really enjoy hearing these stories because a lot of the presenters that we select are a reflection of the student population that we work in. So it's very powerful to hear their stories and to hear the reflection that our students have towards these STEM professionals. Another way to improve academic engagement is by doing our extracurricular activities, which my colleague Karina Corona will talk a little bit more about that. Thank you.
So we do provide some extracurricular activities for our students. This includes raffling off basketball and soccer game tickets. We raffle them off based on their academics, events they've attended per semester, and most improved in classes. We also have Noche de Familia, which is a family night. Families are able to come to the college to learn a little bit more about how much work and dedication it takes to be a full-time student. We provide food and games for the family members. We also provide more information about our program itself. For the program, we require students to take a STEM exploration class, which is an INDIS class. Throughout this class, students work on a project which they complete at the end. That's this picture here with students and their projects. During our SESI Summer Symposium, we have STEM professionals come and talk to students about their career. Students are also able to ask questions and interact with these STEM professionals. And it's also a great way to get students' foot in the door with a lot of these STEM professionals. So now I will be talking about our peer mentor and mentee component for our program. So in order to assist students' overall experience and to ensure their success in our SESI project, the following expectations need to be agreed to and clearly understood by SESI participants. Academics, which consists of, for our program, students are required to take a cohort class meaning they have to have the same classes, whether that's English, Chicano, history class. We also provide math classes during their first semester. We also require them to submit one progress report so the retention team can see if students need help. We can guide them to get tutoring services. We also require them to meet with their peer mentor on a weekly basis and also complete their study hours. For counseling, we require our students to meet 2 times a semester with our SESI counselor, Mariel. They talk about their academics or any personal needs that they have. Mariel will go a little bit more in depth about it. For our engagement expectations, we do require our students to attend the SESI Summer Symposium. We give them information about the program, we give them information about the campus and any resources, and we also help with financial aid if they need during this time. We do provide our SESI students with a variety of events every semester. They can attend workshops, they can attend movie nights, game nights. We also have STEM field trips that we attend. We also require them to complete their financial aid application. We have workshops where they can complete their application on campus. We also require them to apply to one scholarship. So our SESI peer mentors. As a part of a support team, peer mentors will encourage SESI students to embrace college life while also recognizing the importance of overcoming the many demands they face to successfully achieve their academic goals. So our SESI students have their peer mentors for 2 semesters, the whole year. Our peer mentors are assigned 4 to 5 mentors each, and we do have about 10 to 13 peer mentors every year. Our peer mentors initially contact their mentees via email. First, set up an appointment, they meet. We do encourage peer mentors to have an icebreaker for the students so students are comfortable with their mentors. Throughout the semester, our peer mentors do create workshops for the mentees. Past workshops that have been done are time management workshops, self-care workshops, and campus resources. Our SESI peer mentors stated they wanted to become peer mentors because they related to our SESI students a lot. Many of our mentors are first generation students. So according to our SESI peer mentors, their mentees did look for them mostly for homework help, asking them about certain resources on campus, and sometimes they just needed someone to connect with at the college. Our SESI peer mentors did describe facing some initial resistance and miscommunication with their mentees. However, towards the end of the semester, their mentees did open up with their mentors. So because we did see the need and a lot of students asking for help on homework assignments, we did train some of our peer mentors to become tutors. And I do say some because they had the option of doing both or just sticking to peer mentoring. This was another way where mentors and mentees were able to connect with one another. Now I will pass it on to our SESI counselor, Mariel Glenn, to talk a little bit more about the counseling services and early alerts.
One of SESI's program objectives is to improve academic success. One of the ways in which our program is doing that is by establishing a case management approach for delivering student services to our students. We know that typically students from underrepresented groups have academic, social, and emotional challenges that hinder that progress. So the case management approach that we implemented wanted to take a more proactive, more comprehensive, and responsive support system. Our case management goes a step further to ensure that students don't fall through the cracks. So in doing so, our students are required to meet with me. There's mandatory counseling appointments twice a semester. I'm also supporting our students with their educational plans, the transfer process, anything really relating to their academics. And then the other thing is we wanted to put in place a system that had accountability and follow through. So the early alert system is a system that provides intervention for students and who are experiencing academic or personal difficulties. So the system was put into place to increase success rates and retentions at Sacramento City College. However, one of the barriers that SESI noticed was that due to the counselor ratio of 900 to 1, our students were not getting the support that they needed, or they were not able to because of that ratio. So a lot of our students started falling through the cracks. Due to the fact that the counselor ratio was a barrier for our students, SESI hired a full-time counselor for our students. Faculty also was not receiving follow-ups in a timely manner. And then lastly, the last barrier we noticed was that there was insufficient student response time, and we definitely wanted to implement a system that would change that. 58% of students usually will not respond. So again, we had a task here. How can we support our students while delivering the appropriate services, relaying the information to faculty, but also connecting with our students? So the need for a full-time counselor came in. Before then, students had between 4 and 5 counselors. Most of them were part-time. And what was noted was that the counselors mentioned that there was not enough assigned time to meet the demands of the program and mainly our students. So in the spring of 2019, they hired a full-time counselor, and that's when I came into SESI. So the first thing we wanted to do was we wanted to take what was already in place at Sacramento City College and just mold it to our program, So what we did is we kept the early alert in place, but now it's only tailored to our program. So once a faculty member submits an early alert, we develop an action plan with our team. And our team includes myself in counseling and our retention team, our two triple SP specialists, Alejandra and Karina. Once we establish an action plan for that one student, we deliver the services, right? So if there's a concern, depending on the concern, we might offer tutoring, a one-on-one counseling appointment. Once that is established, we review the case and we make sure, faculty was informed. We make sure to follow up with the student. And so then our action plan is moved to either resolved, unresolved, or maybe it's resolved, but we need to still monitor that student, again, to ensure that that student doesn't fall through the cracks. So just to give you a little glimpse, in spring 2019, we had a paper form of our early alert. And so we would give those forms to our faculty members, and if there was any concern, they would fill it out and give it to either myself or our retention team. So we would follow up with that and then provide feedback at our bi-weekly 1-hour professional learning community meetings. And Carla will be talking a little bit about that, what the PLC is. So that's how we started in the spring. In spring 2019, we had roughly about 40 early alerts of unduplicated students. We had many more students, but some of them were duplicated, so about 40. In the fall of 2019, we experienced about the same number, but we did update our early alert. So now we did an early alert Google form, which made it more accessible for faculty to fill in and send to us. We followed up in our biweekly PLC meetings by exploring themes of student concerns. And we saw about 64 students in the spring. So we went from fall 2019, about 39, to spring 2020, about 64 early alerts. And in part, this was due to COVID, right? And a lot of uncertainty. So a lot of our students had more early alerts that year. Going now to this year, fall 2020, we have kept the same early alert Google form, followed by our same biweekly PLC meetings. But we also added an early alert drop-in hour where myself and our retention team is available for 1 hour Monday through Thursday. And this is a place where faculty can come in and address more concerns. Maybe there's something that they didn't address on the early alert form, something that maybe is a little more personal and they want to address one-on-one. So that's another way that we've incorporated to be accessible for our faculty and for our students. We also incorporated a liaison model. So that means that between myself and our retention team, we all communicate with faculty depending on their subject. So as an example, I am the liaison for our English and our history courses. And that way, communication, it goes from one person to the next and things don't get lost in translation, which is some of the things that we also noticed in previous professional learning communities. Lastly, the last thing I mentioned was that one of the barriers was also that students at times were not communicating with us despite many attempts. And I know that general counseling also sees a lot of that. So we established an action plan, and it's depending on the concern and the need of the student, there's different contacts that will be attempted over a specific amount of days. So for example, if you have a case of somebody who is a mild case, right? Maybe they're showing up to class unprepared. Our plan would be to make 6 contact attempts for 9 days. So on the first day, we would text and phone and call the student, just letting them know that we received an early alert and that we wanted to just check in and see how we can support them. If we don't hear a respond, then we go on the 5th day, we email, we call, we text. Finally, on the 9th day, if we still don't have a resolution, they would either get a call from myself or from the director, as well as a letter. So again, this is just to kind of have some accountability, to also show the faculty that our attempts are being made, and that way they also have an update on what's happening. So by creating these structures, we are aiding our students by providing early interventions and helping them succeed while in college. So one thing that I want to leave you with is that our retention rates and success rates have actually improved. We actually have doubled in our program in contrast to our college. So we're at 70% retention rate versus 40% for Sac City as a whole. So we just wanted to showcase a little bit of what our program does, how you can create appropriate structures to aid your students and support them in order for them to reach their goals.
Professional learning communities, as a collective, everything is truly possible. From the beginning of the SESI grant, the faculty that came together to write the grant understood the importance of having a professional learning community linked to the SESI project. Therefore, they put together the professional learning community. With that, there were key focal points for SESI to make sure that they were honing in when it came to the professional learning community. Some of those key focal points were regular meetings and revisions of curricula. As of now, the SESI does meet twice a month, and we are constantly looking how to expand our curricula to ensure the equity and to ensure that our students are successful in our classes. Training and implementation of effective collaboration. As a collective, as mentioned before, everything is truly possible. So therefore, it is important that as a PLC, we truly believe and embrace that. We are constantly collaborating together, thinking of other ways to engage our students in the classroom, as well as thinking of ways to create safe spaces and meeting basic needs for our students. Training and implementation of the role of identity and cultural educational practices. Considering that the SESI project works primarily with low-income Latinx students, it was crucial and important that the students got access to their identity. Therefore, most of the students, when they enter that first year of college, they are taking a Chicano Studies course. In addition to that, through their interdisciplinary Indies class, they also explore culture and how it relates to them and their cultural capital. Training and implementation of the PLC as change agents. As faculty that are constantly caring about equity and ensuring the best for our students, it is important that we do not apply just these techniques to our SESI cohort, but in fact apply to all the courses that we are teaching. This ensures that as a campus-wide initiative, we are slowly impacting all of the students across the Sacramento City College. The last focal point is training and implementation of evidence-based practices in curriculum and student services. Professional development is the key of the PLC learning community, whether it's reading scholarly articles or attending multiple conferences throughout the year to ensure that we are at the high end of the curricula and all of the active learning strategies to ensure that our students, again, are actively learning within our classes. The PLC focuses on the evidence-based practices of curricula and student services. Again, it's about collaboration with student services, so our retention team and our counselor, but also ensuring that our students feel safe in our classrooms and ensure that they are learning. Some of the implementations that the PLC has been able to do is long introductions or educational journeys. These long introductions happen at the very beginning of the semester, and it allows the students to get to know the professors beyond their degrees and the subject matter experts. Students get to know about the struggles that faculty have faced, many of them also coming from low-income backgrounds or of people of color, and how they have navigated the educational system as a first-gen student. Active learning strategies. Again, it's not simply about regurgitating information, having students memorize things as they go through the courses, but really actively engaging them in the curricula. The PLC has gone through various syllabus reviews. These reviews have offered a lens of equity to those syllabuses to ensure that a student from the beginning does not feel overwhelmed, but in fact understands that the syllabus is more than a contract and it's a guide through the course the faculty member has put together. The PLC has focused a lot on food insecurities and basic needs of students, especially now during the 2020 pandemic and everything going on here in California with the wildfires, as well as the air quality in our region, right? It is so important that we hone in on the food insecurities, but also the basic needs of our students, particularly during distance learning. This is one of the key factors that the PLC is honing in on this particular semester. And the last implementation that the faculty member have come together to do is problem solving student resources and their issues and needs. And what I mean by this is that as a PLC, we are constantly thinking about how to better our students in their struggle today. With the help of the retention team and the counselor, the faculty members have been able to dive in and help students navigate the life of their first year experience in college. But in addition to that, where the PLC as faculty members or retention team and the counselor can come together and provide additional resources outside of SESI to help the student be a successful overall person. The SESI PLC evolution. At the very beginning, when the grant was written and first launched in 2017, the PLC was a small collective of individuals, and they focused mainly on the student issues and needs and the professional development associated to those students and the issues arising. In 2018, the learning community grew, and with that, so did the issues and needs associated to the students, but also the professional development needed for faculty members to ensure that they were engaging their students. With that, along came readings and professional development so that faculty member understood and saw how they can improve their classroom curricula for their students. In 2019, we focused mostly on syllabus review and implicit bias, ensuring that faculty understood their implicit biases, but also looked at their syllabus with an equity lens and what the syllabus was really truly telling our students. This upcoming fall is a fall like no other, with distance learning occurring all across our campus. and thus many issues and needs are arising for our students, particularly around basic needs and technology. So our PLC is focusing on distance learning and trying to provide an engaging class via Canvas and through asynchronous and synchronous learning. With the needs of our students being greater than ever before, the PLC is focusing on how do we ensure the content is relevant to our students, how do we ensure that the rigor still stays there, but we have compassion and grace for our students as they navigate the life of 2020 pandemic. With the evolution of the PLC, the RP group has come along and done some third-party basic surveying of our faculty and of our students. Through these surveys, we have learned that compared to other SEC instructors, the instructors of the PLC, nearly 100% of them agreed were considered approachable. 100% agreed or strongly agreed that instructors establish a positive classroom climate. Over 95% said that their instructors care about their student success. And about 97% strongly agreed that they were motivated to learn and to do well in class. 90% are encouraged to keep up with their workload, and over 95% agreed that they felt a sense of belonging in their classroom. And almost 100% of those students that were surveyed felt that they were respected within their classes. This is huge because the students that took these surveys are not all SESI students, meaning that they're not all part of the SESI student learning community. These were students that were in classrooms of PLC members, whether SESI or non-SESI. But all of the students that were in and taught by a PLC member agreed that their faculty member were creating an environment where students were truly motivated to learn, and that their instructor really truly cared about the student outside of the classroom and outside of the name on a grade book. This to us shows us that as the PLC continues to grow, we are constantly thinking about how to engage our students in the classrooms and slowly implementing those changes to become the norm across the Sacramento City College community. If you would like to know more about the SESI program, both the student learning community and the professional learning community, please feel free to reach out to us. We're more than happy to talk more.